Welcome to the Spare Parts Racing Podcast, your podcast for all things motorsports. With your hosts, Sean Chavarella, Stephen Clary, and Taylor Moore.
Hear that music?
Hello, and welcome to another week of Spare Parts Racing. I'm your host, Sean.
I'm Stephen.
And I'm Taylor.
And you know what? I'll go out and say it. I think this may have been the greatest week in motorsports.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
You know, not just from like everything that's happened, but specifically for what news dropped today and what it means for the future. Because it is going to create a... Stephen, you're familiar with our friend Taylor here, who one might describe as a Ferrari Delulu fan.
Yeah. That's how you describe all Ferrari fans.
That's true.
Yeah.
But she also can be described by some as known Lewis Hamilton hater. And come 2025, I cannot wait to see what split personality develops in her.
Okay, look. I think I will forever be a Delulu Ferrari fan. So I'm just going to say it. Ferrari wins the championship in 2025.
Okay, if Lewis wins his 8th championship in Ferrari, does Taylor celebrate or just jump off a bridge?
No, you know what it is? It's just the you are HIV Aladdin of happiness. Oh, sadness. Happiness. Oh, sadness.
Yeah, exactly. That is...
All right. Look.
You know
You
what?
guys have
That's a
to
good point,
know.
Taylor. And before we get into that, we have other stuff to talk about. I'm not gonna let you defend yourself in this one yet.
How is this I was going to defend myself? I could have just completely thrown myself under the bridge.
We'll
Come
s-
2025,
Bridge
I'll
bus.
be Lewis Hamilton, biggest fan.
we'll see. But yeah, amazing week in terms of motorsports. You had the Rolex 24, which Taylor, we have a whole bunch of to talk about with that. You had the Andretti F1 bombshell yesterday, then the F1 bombshell today. You had a murder mystery involving a dog. You have, what else? There's also another thing. What else? Oh, yeah, and I guess a couple surprise signings also in the F1 world as well. Not just the one
Yeah, it was
today. So much has happened.
It was a bit of a interesting week.
So yeah, I guess we should start with Daytona, I feel like, and then we can sprinkle in what came. So
Yes.
I know we were talking a bit beforehand, Taylor, about your time at Daytona, but if you would want for the audience, share your experience. How was it?
Yeah, it was great. It was a very cool, interesting experience, and I think the great thing about being in Daytona is it doesn't hit you until maybe day 2 of the event where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm actually at Daytona. It's so iconic, right? You're just you see it, you're like, oh, this is really cool, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I'm actually at this really important racing event and place in the sport. So it was such a cool experience. I saw Brad Pitt, which I was like, this is a highlight. They were filming the movie a lot, and it was kind of cool because we would all go back to the trailer that we were renting to stay in, and you could hear the filming of the with the cars on track at 11 o'clock at night, just getting in the shots where they can. But yeah, it was really cool. It's just the banking is crazy when you see it in person. It's just crazy how steep it is. And I got to go up in the start stand before the race started, which was an amazing view. I'm really terrified of heights though, so I'm proud of myself that I didn't completely crap my pants.
How huge? How huge
to,
did it look from up there? On the start stand, looking down. That's a long way down, isn't it?
It honestly it doesn't feel like it's a long way down.
Even
The
with
view is
banking?
fantastic. Even with the banking, it doesn't look like it's that much, like that high off the ground. But I think it is. Like it's just the way I guess like the banking is and how like because it kind of looks like closer to the start stand. So
So
but
you
yeah, it was
you got
just-
in the start stand at Daytona.
yes.
You didn't send a photo of that? Did you take pictures of that?
I did take pictures, and I will send it to you.
You don't think we could have posted that?
sorry.
Huh, that could have been a nice social
I'm
media post.
sorry.
No.
It was a 24-hour race. I was exhausted by day 2. So like,
Did
my
you do this
brain was
during the
already fried
race?
just before it started, and then like we were trying to like we had a very specific mission during the grid walk portion because one of our friends at the track who's supposed to come with us, like he started dialysis, so he couldn't come on the trip with us. So we wanted to get a picture of him signed by his like favorite racer, Daniel Morad, which they like some of the marshals at Mosport know.
I mean,
very
he had
well.
a,
So
he
we
had a
like,
hell of a fucking race. Oh,
he
anyway.
did, which was really awesome to see as well. So yeah, it was like all around just like such a cool event. And the way that we marshal it, like we marshal in shifts. So like I think we got the best shift from 5:30 to 9:30 p.m. and a.m. So yeah, it was just really awesome, and the ending was fantastic, historic. So
That's fair, yeah. We can go into the ending in a second. But first, what was your highlight of your shifts as marshalling? And which corner were you on?
So I was working turn 1, 2, and 2A. So we like during our shifts we rotate between the 3 turns and marshal at all the different ones. So we all got to kind of have a different view.
So where, for someone unfamiliar with the track or knows the track layout but not the marshal stands, where were the different marshal stands at?
So like turn 1 is pretty much like
Is it inside,
right
outside?
inside. I think it's near the start. And then like it's all around that first kind of bend, right? And then like 2A is right where pit exit is. So you
Okay,
could see
yep.
the cars coming out of the pits and then like merging onto the actual track.
Nice.
And then 3 is where the international.
So 3 is the horseshoe, then 2
Yeah.
and 2A is
So we were
before.
before that.
Okay, so you're basically the first turn and out of the pits.
Exactly. Out
Pretty
of
good
the
spot.
pits first turn.
Yeah.
It was a pretty good spot to get some action. But highlight, I mean, there was a lot of yellow flags. There were so many.
That
I
you
would
had to
say-
fly?
I would say the majority of my shifts were holding the double yellow up.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was but it was fun. Peter taught me how to blue flag, which was an experience. I'm not
flags.
not necessarily good at it yet, but I'm hoping to learn. But yeah, I'd say like it might be really cheesy, but I think the highlight of marshalling was just like being able to marshal with Peter. Like I'm not gonna get that opportunity because he's gonna become a clerk, so that's kind of my last shot, and we were able to do it together. So I think that was like definitely a highlight, and honestly being so close to the cars because you're really close.
Yep.
You're like basically right beside the track.
Yeah. Did you do any of the support races or just the 24?
Yeah, I did all of the support races. So yeah, the MX5 Cup was insane as to be expected.
Yeah, that was amazing. That last lap was fantastic.
The bump, like when you see the bump drafting in person, it's just kind of insane. And now what I'm super excited about is that they're coming to CTMP this year, and I don't care how, like, if I even have to pay Brian to put me at 5 for that race at CTMP, because they're just going to be insane. It got me even more excited for marshalling season this year.
That's fair. Did you notice any difference between the Canadian marshals and the American marshals?
Yes. To be honest, I'm trying to be really diplomatic in my response.
Nah, savage. Go for the throat. Let's start a martial war.
I would say that like they just do things very differently. So here's the thing: there's pros and cons to like going down south to marshal a race, because down like especially in the Florida region, holy crap, do they ever take care of the marshals down there. Like we were like fully stocked, our meals were great, like everything was pretty much like catered. Like we had Chick-fil-A for lunch one day, Cracker Barrel did catering for our breakfast during the 24-hour race.
Damn.
We had a really awesome like barbecue like pork sandwich that they like, and they
was
brought
actually
it
Gator.
right to our corners. It was not Gator. But it was just they treat you really well, and they always made sure that there was like coffee in the morning, everything like snacks like up the wazoo. So they really do take care of you in a different way. However,
Half of them are drunk.
it's like they just
You didn't say no.
Falls happen. There's just things that you're just like, it just wouldn't happen up here, because I think like at least in MMS, I think we hold ourselves to a high standard because we know what we're representing safety. I'm not saying that the others don't. You just kind of wonder like.
You sound a bit pretentious here, not gonna lie.
I know. See, I'm trying to say this without like.
No, either be ruthless or be pretentious. One or the other. Either make them look bad or you're making yourself look bad. So I don't know what to say here.
Okay, they just weren't good.
Yeah.
They would say things where you're like, nobody cares about that, and then like Control would come and be like, we don't care about that. Like they wouldn't say that, but like they don't care about that. So the blue flagging, they were just like very limp. They would blue flag the leaders of every pack without actually like doing it. But it was a little different. But they do take care of you. So 10 out of 10 points for that, because we struggle with our lunches here. We are known to have terrible lunches.
So was it an American or Canadian that decided to call the race 2 minutes early?
Yeah, who can't
No
tell
idea.
time?
Yeah.
No idea.
Who failed basic elementary school?
I still don't understand. Like, I know that IMSA put out a statement saying that because the race started early, they ended it early or something that.
No, because it started a couple minutes late. I think
So they ended it early?
Yeah, because it was supposed to end at the 10. I think it went off at like 1:40. They didn't actually go into like 1:42. But they still scheduled the end for 1:40 the next day.
And like I think part of that is because IMSA is really, really tied to their TV schedule. Like, and like everything is dictated by when the TV schedule has been made. So like you would see that like races, like even though they don't look finished or anything, like they'll cut it. If the TV time's done, race is done.
Yeah, that's
so fair. I can understand like there's probably a lot of politics that were going on behind the scenes. However, it is a 24-hour race, and I know that a lot of people were really mad about it. It was pretty much the only thing that people could talk about at the end when we all got back to like the Marshall compound, is just like what happened. But yeah, I don't really have an answer for what happened, because
no behind
I don't think anybody really got like no. I remember one of my friends telling me about it, but to be honest, I think I completely forgot, because at that point my brain was like so fried. I was like, what's happening?
Okay,
who did what? But
I'm gonna go with my bet on what happened. Okay, the guy who's doing, I'm guessing the guy who started the race, the same guy that ends the race in terms of flagging, usually.
I have no idea.
Okay. He started the race the first day, yada, yada. He's up there for his shift at the end of the race. He set an alarm or something on his phone or in his watch. So at the 1:40, because he's just going to be watching, he needs, it's time. Get the checkered flag ready. He probably did something stupid like that. It's like, it's been 24 hours.
Maybe, but I think what happened, like...
Because it was mass confusion. No one seemed to know what was happening.
Yeah, like, and it was weird because it was like a lot of it had to do with the last lap, like flag
Tracking.
being known to one group and not the other group too.
Yep.
So nobody knew what was happening.
Don't you literally have to track the leader?
Yes.
Was that just not done?
I don't think so.
Okay, good job.
I don't think so. I was off shift at this point, so I had no idea what was going on.
That's fair.
All I knew was like, Peter and Josh were like, "What's happening? Like, is it over? I don't know. Like, what's happening?" And we were like ready with the Canadian flag to like celebrate Daniel winning, and we're like, "Is it over yet?" Like, I
Yeah,
don't
it's kind of
know.
awkward. Yeah.
Even the what was it? The pit crews were like, "Do we do this? Did we win?
Yeah.
What's happening?"
Did we win?
But
I
then
don't know.
they waved the flag, but everyone just kind of like puttered around for like a couple laps anyway, just to make sure they got the full thing.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, now it's official.
Yeah,
Just in case?
it was. It was a little bit of an odd ending, that's for sure.
Well, that's fair. Well then, Steve, any questions for Taylor?
Did you see the car catch on fire up close, coming out of the pits?
Oh my gosh, that whole thing.
Oh, Parker
yes.
Thompson's go. No, yes. Oh,
Okay.
flashbacks. Oh,
So,
I was gonna say Sean definitely
story
blocked
about
that
this.
out.
oh, I had to bring that up.
fun story.
Was that you?
So,
Were you there?
what?
Were you
No, I
there when that
wasn't
happened?
That was Josh.
Oh, Josh was there.
So, what?
I thought you were
Okay,
gonna say
so
you
we
set the car
were,
on fire.
all three of us were not on shift.
Okay.
Let me make this clear. So I'm just putting around, like watching, seeing what's happening, and I hear Josh being like, "Oh, that's on fire!" And then all I see is Peter and Josh bolt towards the car. I'm like, "We are not working," but okay, I'm just gonna stay here and let them handle it. Josh runs by. No marshal is responding except for them, and then you could see someone give him a fire extinguisher, and Josh just like runs by to this car on fire. And then Peter stops, picks up the other fire extinguisher because he's like, never run to a car that's on fire without a fire extinguisher. So you can see Josh in the footage. He's there doing nothing. And then the two of them were there helping out. But yeah, I could smell it. It was very smelly. But yeah, that was it was an interesting one.
I'm trying to see if I can pull it up right now.
But yeah, it was kind of cool because you could see Josh on the actual footage, and then a bunch of his friends were like snapping the frame and being like, "Look, you're on TV."
Nice.
You're famous.
Yeah, I'm actually just watching right now. The Lexus on fire. Oh no, the Lexus on fire! Ah!
Which is like the same. So like the paint job on the every time. Oh, doesn't that paint job look familiar? Which is like the piece of
The
we have a
car.
Lexus in the hanging in the trailer.
So that's Josh that ran
like-
over to him and gave him the fire extinguisher?
No, that was international marshal.
Okay.
But Josh is in there somewhere, all in white.
Okay, he's in the white? Okay.
yeah.
Genius. No.
And I was just waiting. I was like, well, I'm not going to be helpful if I run to this.
Yeah, that's fair.
So they responded. The
Yeah,
other
nice.
guys did nothing, stood around.
That's fair. Yeah, I'm just watching the video. Basically, it's Parker Thompson putting out his own car. That's kind of sad. They were having such a good
because
day.
we're not allowed to. Yeah, the marshals are not allowed to respond to anything on track. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
He's having
Safety-wise.
his own little Carlos Sainz moment.
Well,
yeah,
but I guess because IMSA would use the AMR safety team, don't they?
yes,
So
yes,
that checks out.
they do.
What?
I can't wait for you to work IMSA. I can't wait for you
Is
to.
that a
work
good thing or a
IMSA
bad
this year.
thing?
Because you're just gonna know why I say it this way.
Okay, that's fair.
Because you're gonna watch something happen, and when AMR works the event, you'll just watch something happen and be like, "Oh my gosh, this is taking an hour to put the toe on."
Oh,
They're terrible.
I think that's a. I don't know if you can say they're terrible. They've done some good things, so.
They have done some good things, but just wait. Trust me. You'll see.
Let's
Maybe
be
it's
honest.
just at Mosport.
It could just be the IMSA crew, because I mean, the Indy crew is
Could be.
top notch.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's
Yeah,
not like it's the
Indy
same.
crew's good.
It's not the same team really for AMR. It's just AMR sponsors each safety team.
Mhm.
So, yeah,
So whoever works Mosport,
B team,
you are
maybe the
B
C
team.
team.
D team. D team.
Ooh, F team.
Yeah, you'll see.
That's fair. Any other fun things from the Rolex before we move on? I guess you have.
No, I don't think so.
Sad for Parker Thompson, who was my Canadian hopeful going in. Good for Daniel Morad, as you mentioned, winning the GTD.
Yeah. Good for Penske.
Yep, good
First
for Penske.
win since Roger Penske actually won Rolex.
Yeah, in the 60s.
In like the 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good for them.
I was gonna say
Boo for Faf.
Yeah, Faf always struggles. It's just, yeah, they haven't been good the last few years. They really haven't.
Well, they won. They won their class a few years ago in 2022.
Did they? Okay.
They did.
Was that the plaid car?
It was a plaid car. I missed the plaid car.
The McLaren's still plaid-ish, kind of.
It's plaid-ish, but you have to wonder if they're wondering about their switch to McLaren now. But
yeah, that's fair.
They really, really struggled.
10th in class.
And then I guess I was gonna say for Dale Morad, it was really a good seeing that clip of him going around the internet of just like him basically like crying after he won. I thought that was awesome. Just like the emotion of like, because he's not really, I think, a big, well-known driver or anything like that. Like, obviously in the Marshall circle at Mosport, they know him and stuff. But like, it's just a very good, I guess, story, and for him to get that, maybe that can jump him up into another higher seat, something like that. So
yeah, I mean, like his career, it's awesome to see, to be honest, because like he really struggled with his career, and like he was pretty much done like a few years ago. He was he was coaching, right? He was teaching, and then he just got a seat, and I think he won the Rolex, and that put him back on the map, right? Yeah. So having a second Rolex, I think it's amazing. It's a great story, and I hope this turns into more great things for him. He's a cool guy. Yeah.
How old is he?
So,
is he our age?
33.
Okay, 33. Okay, that's fine. I was gonna say if he's
That's
younger than
fine.
us, if he's younger than us, I'm gonna cry.
No, he's older than us.
Thank God.
But yeah, it was cool. It was cool. I did enjoy his like caption saying someone put onions in the car.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was really good. All around 10 out of 10.
What was the talk around the track of the Ligier in LMP2? The one that kept bringing out the yellows, it seemed, every 30 minutes? Like, for the start of the race. Like, that car, oh my God, was the clown show of the race. And just
at one point,
I think that car I think caused one of the final yellows too, because it lost bodywork.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Like
that car was a
the
disaster.
amount of yellows that we had, I was like, this is getting old. You know what I mean? Like, just race clean. But I don't think anybody was really like, we weren't really talking about it. I think at one point, like, you're just like, you get in the zone and you don't really like care about what's going on. You're just like, when is this yellow gonna end?
Taylor, it ended 3 laps ago. Put the flag away.
And like that's the thing though. It's like like it's like, all right, so it's gonna be at least another half an hour, because you're gonna have to like do all these things, and then they send the blowers out, which is very powerful. Yeah, I don't know. Like, there wasn't really any like talk. I think we were just kind of like, oh,
That's fair.
another yellow. Here we go, holding this up again.
No talk of the Di Francesco versus Chip Ganassi bullshit.
Oh no, that was a big talk. We were all like,
what the fuck?
I think so. When did that happen?
That was the Saturday morning, wasn't it?
Did that come out the Saturday morning?
I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because Jennifer Fryer tweeted it, X'd it, whatever, and people gave her a shit, being like, "How is this relevant? Why are you doing this? Yada yada." It's like, well, the guy's about to race 24 hours, kind of, but went through trauma.
Yeah. So we were like, we didn't know what happened. We just knew that like someone hit Di Francesco's dog, and we were all like, "Oh, that's really sad." And then when it came out that it was alleged that it was Chip Ganassi, we were like, "Oh my gosh!" Like, okay. So, I mean, there was a lot of different things that were like the alleged. Like, the first rumor was that it was like Chip was under the influence and driving recklessly in the park.
Yeah, that was shot down because he doesn't drink apparently. So
yeah, So that was shot down. Like, you're also not talking to, like, what, 4 cops
Yeah.
if you're under the influence. So, yeah, it's a very unfortunate thing to have happened because, like, it was just a puppy, like a golden retriever puppy, and it's very sad.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's not a good look. Like, it's really not a good look.
No, it really wasn't. And you could kind of argue karma a bit in the race because what happened to his car?
Good DNF.
Yeah, it was the 0-1.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the one Steven picked to win.
Not like yours did any better.
I know. Steven picked the 0-1. I picked the 10. Both
did not do good.
Did not
Whoops.
do good. Well. Oh, well. There's always next year.
Exactly. Maybe we'll be there in a couple years. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I was definitely walking through and being like, Sean and Steven would love this.
Yeah. No surprise there.
No, I mean, no surprise. We're all sitting on a racing podcast, but it was super cool. I didn't get to sign my name on like the track or whatever, like a lot of people do, but maybe next time.
Should have put a curse on the track for like one of the NASCAR guys.
Maybe.
Who would you have cursed?
Who would I have cursed?
Yes.
Ooh. Oh. I have no idea which one I would curse.
That's fair. Okay. I would have guessed like
Larson.
I was
maybe?
gonna say Larson. Okay, yeah, that's exactly okay.
Larson.
That's fair.
I would just write a blessing for Byron.
Jeez. Taylor's now a Byron stan apparently. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Byron stan because
she's already off to a good start. So she's picked a favorite driver. She just said that she enjoys bump drafting.
That's true. Yeah. Man,
okay, it's
she might enjoy Daytona this year actually. Not the 24,
Maybe.
but the 500. We'll convert her soon
Maybe.
enough.
No, like I said I was going to be more open-minded. So I will stick to that. I will be more open-minded. That is my promise.
Fair enough. Okay, so is that kind of everything we covered for Rolex? So do you want to go on to the sad news or the fun news? Because we're going to do either one of them. It's just which order do you want to do this?
Let's get the sad news out of the way.
Okay, fuck you and your F1 there. So F1 has rejected Andretti to join F1, stating a large amount of bullshit, in my opinion. Do you guys have any of the actual like articles and like things they said of like why it was rejected?
No, because it's all bullshit anyways.
Like there was one where it's like, so like first it was like, oh, it wouldn't offer any value. Like, I think it's like one of the ones was the Andretti name offers value or would get more value, like the brand, than F1 would from getting Andretti in F1. And because of that, you know.
What the heck?
Yeah, basically saying Andretti themselves would get more value out of joining F1 than F1 does with Andretti. And, like, to be fair, no shit. Hey, Steven, you're a hockey fan. Toronto Maple Leafs. Do they have more value than the overall NHL? No. Are they one of the biggest teams? Yes. But that's not how a sports league works.
That's not even where you have to go to. You just look at the report that came out on like Sunday or whatever, and it said Taylor Swift has added $33 million of brand value to the NFL. And it's like, so name brand into a sport helps.
Who would have thought?
More money regardless when your expenses are zero. Well, not zero, not zero in this case, but yeah, I think the good would outweigh the bad. Yeah,
so they said no. They it's not good for the value of F1. They don't like the idea of Andretti coming in and being a customer engine and having to buy a customer engine from another team. It's like, what the fuck? Like, half of your
Isn't, like,
teams do that.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, isn't like 50% of the team grid customer cars? Like,
Yeah, so based on that logic, Williams,
talking
Haas, McLaren, and
should all be done.
yeah, they don't make
They
their own
should all
engines.
no longer be an F1.
They shouldn't have a
Okay.
team. Shouldn't have a
So
team.
we're gonna have like what, 5 teams on the grid?
Yep.
4.
Four?
Yeah, basically, if you don't make an engine, that's you're not good enough to be an F1. What was the other thing
That's
they
ridiculous.
said? One of the other points was, they're worried that if they come in, they're not going to be competitive.
Are you kidding me?
What the fuck does competitive mean?
Then why is Haas still in F1?
No, to be fair, what is your bar for competitive? Is it
Yeah.
is it score points? I guarantee they'll score points. Is it win a race? Well, only one other fucking team won a race last year, so you got 8 other cars who aren't competitive? 8 teams?
I was gonna say, what about last season was like super competitive?
Yeah.
Red Bull, like, what are they on about? Okay, so here's my question.
Go ahead.
What did Andretti do to make FOM hate him so much?
Exist?
Where they just
be American?
refuse. Gene Haas is American?
Yeah, that's fair. But I mean, like, he's usually a dick of a guy. I feel like if Chip Ganassi had a team, they'd probably give him one, you know? Oh, you killed a puppy? Yeah, here, have a team. Like, that's just...
Penske, Roger Penske
Doesn't have a team.
doesn't have a team?
Nope.
He might get one.
Yeah. He's not that bad of a guy.
Hmm.
But, like, you need to have either the backing of a dictator, oil money,
Mm-hmm.
or, I don't know, be on the list at Jeffrey Epstein's Island or something to even have a shot at getting an F1 team, it seems.
That's just, it's so ridiculous. Like, they're... F1 is just shooting itself. Like, we say that IndyCar is shooting themselves in the foot. F1 is shooting themselves in the foot, too.
Yes.
By refusing to grow. No, sorry. Refusing to grow with people who aren't backed by dictators or countries that don't have massive oil.
Or abuse human rights, you know.
Or abuse human rights. Yeah, right. Sorry. Of course.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
The moment I think we knew this was a joke was when they said, "Well, the 200 million that's not fair anymore. You know, we gotta up it due to inflation or whatever bullshit." And Andretti basically came back and said, "Okay, here's more money," and they still said,
No.
"Nah."
Yeah, how much should Andretti want to pay again, and how much money is he willing to put in F1?
A lot. I mean, they're building their own international like housing for, or basically they're building their own complex.
Yeah.
For all this for all their international racing.
It's just ridiculous.
At a certain point, you know the old joke of, it's like the Futurama joke, is I'm going to have my own whatever with blackjack and hookers?
Yep.
Would Michael Andretti be crazy enough and petty enough to literally make his own series with blackjack and hookers?
Do it.
And where I'm going with this, of what I want to see happen in the future. So who owns IndyCar right now?
Penske.
He is an old guy.
Mm-hmm.
How old is he now? Is he
80
something?
I would say
Or is
82.
he 80?
He's up there in age.
Yeah,
86.
Pretty old.
86. So is Roger Penske going to leave the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and IndyCar in the hands of Penske Corp? Or would he maybe flip the series and flip stewardship of the track to Andretti? The reason, and for one, Andretti does a lot of promotional stuff too. He already basically runs the company that promotes most of the IndyCar races. Like, who, like, what is it? It's Green, what the heck is it, Green Savory or something like that, that does all the promotional stuff for, like, I think it's Toronto, it's Barber, it's Mid-Ohio, St. Pete. It's all the same company that runs that. I'm pretty sure Andretti is involved with that. And, you know, he has a team, and he's willing to obviously throw a bunch of money at F1 that they don't want. So why doesn't he try to rebuild CART? Like Roger's kind of too afraid to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a possibility. It's a possibility.
But can we also look at the bullshit thing of F1's statement when they said, we reject you for this. But in 2028, if you come with just GM making its own engine, we might reconsider. That is some bullshit.
Nah, you've moved the goalpost too many times at this point.
Dumb.
I ain't believing that.
So
No,
in this entire thing, what F1 has managed to do is prevent anyone else coming into F1.
Yeah.
Whether you're a manufacturer, like, clearly from F1 statements, they want OEMs. They want basically to be F1 how it was in, like, 2006, 2007, where almost every single team was partnered with some kind of car manufacturer.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. That was a rarity for the time. If you look at the entire history of F1, it's privateer teams.
It's completely unrealistic what they're trying to do. Like, completely unrealistic.
Yeah. Even like one of your biggest, most historical teams ever in F1 has never manufactured its own engine. But yet you're going to ask anyone coming into F1 to be its own engine manufacturer. Makes no sense. It is stupid. It's damaging to the sport. And you're going to prevent people from wanting to come in again unless the sport has an absolute tank. If the sport tanks like it did, which is when they had Caterham, Marussia, which became Manor, and Haas, they all joined basically when F1 was like desperate for teams. Like, hey, we're losing teams. No one wants to be here. Please come. And out of those 3 teams that joined, only one's still around. That's Haas.
And it's a struggle bus.
It is a hell of a struggle bus.
The strugglest of all struggle buses at this point.
Yeah, but if Gene was to sell that, he makes bank.
Mm-hmm.
He has more than, I don't know, probably quadrupled his investment in that team just on the market cap of F1 alone going up.
It'd be funny if he sold it to Andretti, though.
I think he probably wants to.
That would be hilarious.
But that's not how a league and how a series should operate.
I agree. I 100% agree. It shouldn't be like that would be how Andretti gets into F1, is that Gene Haas ends up selling the team. It should not be that way. F1 should be willing to grow without having to, like, jump through all of the hoops or, like, you know, bring their own manufacturer or whatever. It's just stupid.
And at this point, it's just like, it's very clear that they just don't like Andretti and don't want him to have a team.
Yes. And, like, let's look at the world of sports cars for a second. In the world of sports cars, where you have your hypercar class now, how many of those teams are manufacturers and how many are privateer teams?
Majority of them, I would say, are the privateer teams.
Yeah, I think so. Like, yes, there's some partnership and stuff. Like, you know, Porsche Penske. Okay, Porsche Penske is your factory Porsche team.
Mm-hmm.
But Porsche sells itself to Hertz Team Joda, sells itself to Proton Competition in WEC.
Mm-hmm.
It's selling itself to, what's the other one in IMSA? Sorry, I was going to pull it up here, but I didn't know there was a fourth one. But that's what they do, because you can be a manufacturer and you can also be a privateer. If you get good enough, you can also become I go from a privateer to a manufacturer. That's what Meyer Shank did. They used to be basically a privateer team, and they've turned they're now the Acura factory team.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's just a whole lot of ridiculousness. And just disappointing, like so disappointing.
Yeah. And like
It's just
it was
like,
good to
it's
see.
Stagnate.
Yeah, exactly. They're not going to go anywhere.
Nope.
It was really good to see, I guess, the internet's reaction to that yesterday, where I would say 90-10, maybe 95-5%, like, were for, like, the 90-95% were, what the fuck is this? There is the 10%, 5% who were like, no, keep them out. I like my F1 how it is, let's not touch it. But that's just short-sighted look at how the series should be.
I'm so done with F1 on this topic.
Yeah. So do you want to go to the fun topic?
Fun.
Okay, you guys can take away the fun topic. I've done most of my ranting for this episode.
You did your ranting. Well, you didn't want to do the other part of the rant?
What's the other part?
The Spain news?
Oh fuck! I forgot about that bit of news.
Forgot about that part too.
Oh, Madrid?
It's okay.
Barcelona coming off.
Ugh.
I'm sorry. Or do you want to talk about the Visa Cash App Racing Bulls?
Oh, it's getting so bad. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, F1 is just getting bad. There's so many.
It's over commercialized.
Oh, 100%. They're just like, we knew that they were just obsessed with the money to begin with, but now it's becoming so like brand heavy. You're just like, oh my gosh.
Just cut to
Am I turning on like a commercial?
You're just gonna cut to the Mr. Krabs. Money, 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 money.
That's it.
That's
exactly
F1 right
what
now.
they are.
That's literally F1.
Well, I feel like there's like, I don't know, there's really not much to talk about other than it's just getting annoying. Like with everything, F1 is just getting annoying.
That's fair.
I think it's now 1/3 of the tracks in 2026 will be street circuits, which is too much.
Aren't we getting another sprint race too? I feel like we're getting more sprint races. Sucks.
Maybe I have no idea.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Fun stuff.
Fun stuff.
Do you want to go chronologically?
No, let's get to the real fun stuff. Let's get to the big one.
Okay. Well, I mean, Sean already made the joke about Taylor's mix or confliction
Oh, I'm conflicted.
on Hamilton. So
Yeah, so Lewis is going to Ferrari.
that
Lewis
was
is going to Ferrari.
What was everyone's first reaction to seeing that this morning?
This can't be real.
I don't need my coffee anymore. I am awake.
Mine was, this is a conspiracy to cover up bad press from yesterday. That my honest first thought. I didn't believe a word of it.
All a conspiracy. Yeah, I didn't believe it either, and I was like, this can't be real. Like, this has to be some sort of like weird outlet. And then I saw, like, not long after you sent the tweet that said, like, there's talks or rumors. I saw Sky Sports actually report that it happened, and I was like, oh no, this is real. This is actually happening.
Yeah. Where they're just like, yep, it's real. I think we lost Steven again.
We did.
Fucking Christ.
Although, you know what, it is funny that he like pauses on very funny like faces every single time.
He does. But yeah.
Oh, we're back.
And he's back. Good. Perfect. Little stall there as his internet cuts back in.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as the day went on, you're seeing more and more things trickle in. You're like, oh.
And then ESPN reported it, and TSN reported it, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I saw I saw it in other news. Like I think it was on like CNN had a thing on their website too of it.
Wow.
So I
And
was like,
BuzzFeed even reported on
BuzzFeed.
it.
Okay, let me check TMZ right now.
Well, and I did see a tweet by Will Buxton, and I think he's right. This has to be like
Probably one of the biggest like F1 transfer deals to I think ever happen. Like
Yes.
that is I think the most surprising. I think we all kind of assumed that Lewis would retire at Mercedes and that would be it for him, but wow. I'm genuinely still shocked.
Steven, try talking. Come on.
Oh, am I back? Okay.
Yes,
good.
you are back. You've been back the whole time.
Okay. No, it was out of the blue, and this definitely caught everyone off guard. I don't really get it, but especially like just the timing is odd,
It's very
find.
odd.
right? Like Ferrari's like I don't know, maybe, but there's always like the stuff that happens behind the scenes that we don't see and we will probably never see.
Well,
Where we don't know how he was sold to this because Ferrari's obviously got some strong pitch with Vassar now having a full year in. I mean, so the other part that we haven't talked about yet is Leclerc signed a multi-year contract. Hamilton also, by the way, is apparently a multi-year contract.
Yep.
So they've sold them for the rest of this era of F1 as well as
The first year.
next era of F1. So whoever's on their sales and marketing team, good job.
Or R&D team.
Or R&D.
What did you show them?
Yeah.
yeah,
What
that's a question though.
What is coming?
Or like the other question is like what's coming in Ferrari, but what is Lewis seen in Mercedes?
That is also a good question of.
Right?
Yeah, he is getting the car and be
After-
like, nah.
Yeah, you know what
Just
he's seen is 2 years of having a 300 kilometer an hour back massager.
Ooh. Yeah. He has to go to the dentist too many times to get his fillings replaced.
Yeah.
But in terms of news, yeah, this is probably one of the biggest transfer news since Lewis first went to Mercedes.
Well, yeah, because
Yeah.
that was and it's. I feel like the parallel to NASCAR is sort of like.
I saw some say Jeff Gordon going to like DEI back in the day.
No, I was gonna say Brad Keselowski leaving a better situation to go to a struggling team and see how quickly he can turn it around.
Yes, but Lewis Hamilton is a million times better than Brad Keselowski.
Yes, no. I'm the only parallel there being there. It's a questionable move to a team that is struggling. Will it turn around? And will he find success right away?
If we're looking at this in terms of like hockey, this is literally like Crosby going to Toronto.
If that ever
Yeah.
happened.
No, this is a guy who is proven to be one of, if not the greatest of all time, and he is now going to maybe not Toronto, maybe like Crosby going to like New York in terms of hockey reference. But anyway, going to the largest team, the largest basically fan base, and getting to race one of those nice, beautiful red cars.
Yep.
And you know, gets to be listed as one of history's Ferrari drivers. You know, I
mean, apparently he's always wanted to be a Ferrari driver, so.
how many greats did not drive for Ferrari?
Not many. Mansell, maybe?
Nope. Didn't Mansell drive for Ferrari?
No, I don't think he did.
Oh yeah, I guess so. I thought he did. Oh well. Actually, speaking of for Ferrari though, Lewis joining Ferrari. He is the first British driver for Ferrari. Since who? And yes, by the way, Mansell did drive for Ferrari, so fuck yes, I'm right.
He did?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
2 years.
Since
Who was the last British Ferrari driver?
it's been a while though.
As
Maybe since like what?
Was it Nigel Mansell?
It was not Nigel Mansell.
Was it before or after Mansell?
It was actually after.
It would-
Yeah.
I was gonna
It
say
would
it
have
has
to
to
be
be
after.
after, otherwise it
Has
would
to
be
be
Mansell.
after. Right. I was like, okay, I'm still tired. Okay, I'm still tired. From
You had time to
Daytona.
recover. Someone's just
I'm trying to think.
screaming at their phone right now.
Probably. I don't know. It's probably one of the like very popular grades.
No.
I'm sure. No, it's
No.
not. Someone like
It's-
Loki.
It's the most forgotten Ferrari driver of all time.
Oh, then
Well, clearly.
First name,
Who?
Eddie.
Cheevers?
Eddie Irvine.
Irvine.
oh,
Yes, 99 was the last
Wow.
time a Brit.
99.
So it'll be 25 years since a Brit drove for Ferrari.
Wow.
To be fair, Brits don't have a good track record with the Ferrari, so yeah. Good luck.
well. It's going to be an interesting 2025 for me, you know, like
Oh, this is going to be a great year because, okay, so the season hasn't started. And in 1 week, you've had the biggest shakeup in F1 history, plus 2 guys signing long-term with their current teams.
Yeah, okay. So I also have a question. Why does all of this stuff like happening outside of the season? Like we no longer have silly season anymore. Now the
Listen, we didn't have silly season last year. That was the rarity. This now is, I think, a springboard for one of the wackiest seasons.
maybe let's hope.
Yeah,
Let's hope.
I can see a lot of
Like,
like this. This has like Verstappen surprise retirement year written all over it. Okay.
how do you feel if you're Lando, you sign a multi-year deal, and then see a Mercedes seat open up?
Well, at this point Mercedes is a sinking ship.
Yeah, at this point, you were better than
So-
Mercedes last year, so I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like I think Lando's probably sitting being like, I'm good. You have to think
But-
about guys like Albon though, you know what I mean? Like Albon drives for Williams.
Bottas
So-
there. Let me in. Let me back in.
Bring me back.
No, I think Mercedes sort of goes for like a retool.
They have.
Get
They
another-
have their guy.
Yeah. So you get another younger driver on the up and up. Who's in the Mercedes system that would come up right
What's
now?
his name? I can't. He's really good. Shoot.
DeVries.
No, they have this one guy who's like the next big thing. Antonelli.
Oh, I did see that name. thrown out
Yeah,
there.
Andrea Kimi Antonelli is apparently this next big thing coming up. Like he's 17. He's racing an F2 next year. He could win the F2 championship and be an F1 at 18.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's the guy who Mercedes could be like, out with the old champion, in with the new. And then you're George Russell being like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, well.
How did we not forget that, or how did we all forget that Mick Schumacher's sitting right there?
Oh yeah.
That also is true. Mick is right there as well.
I was like, who else is in that garage? Oh yeah, you got George and Lewis for this year, but Lewis obviously is out. Oh yeah, Mick's the reserve driver. Shit.
Yeah.
Mick gets
forgot
into the
about
race
Mick.
this year. Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Could you imagine just like one of those years for like back in the day where maybe this season doesn't start off so well? Lewis Hamilton shits in the car, starts shitting on the team. Fine. You're fired. You're done. Have fun at Ferrari next year. We're going to kick you out early. Mick, you're in. You could see that this year. Like you have two guys
Yeah, you could.
on big teams on lame duck years.
Yeah.
going into the season, you
Yeah,
already have
I don't
two
know.
guys on lame duck years.
It could be a really interesting season. Thank goodness.
Yeah. For, like, again, last season we had no off-track drama, no one moved teams, and now we actually have a lot of potential.
Well, it all depends on who jumps into that second Mercedes seat, and then what else opens up after that.
Yeah.
So,
Listen,
like-
I'm still betting surprise retirement from Max.
It could happen.
Oh.
I can see it.
Wins 4 in a
That
row,
doesn't
I'm
matter.
out.
that throws another little fun wrench in. Max out, Ricardo back in.
Could you imagine, though, the flex? Max leaves, wins like 4 in a row, leaves. Red Bull doesn't win. They put someone else in the car, but they don't win. They're not Max.
I could see that.
Max comes back
Nope.
in a year or wins again.
That would be hilarious.
That would be
That
the
would be
ultimate
hilarious.
flex. That would prove you're the GOAT.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause it's not the car. It's me.
Hi.
Hi.
No, we're not. No,
No.
we're gonna get taken down for that. You see
We're
that?
gonna get sued.
See how TikTok was taking down all Taylor Swift stuff? Yeah, don't do that. Don't do
Oh
that.
yeah.
All the
Universal
Spotify
is all,
stuff.
Like,
Yeah.
all Universal's pulling all of its music, not just hers. So.
Apparently they haven't got paid. That's
Yes.
why.
Probably.
Makes sense. Anyway, so yeah, what else are we missing from this week? Besides the stupid Spanish Grand Prix thing.
Well, yeah. So Leclerc and Lando signing or re-upping on their deals, which was interesting. Where'd my notes go? Daly and Ryan Hunter-Ray are teaming up with Dreyer Rainbow.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's I
For
did
the
see that.
500?
I like that. That's not a bad team. That's a team that can. If you were to bet on a team to produce like a miracle finish, it's one of those two guys.
Yep.
So that'd be a fun one.
Oh, that'll be so good. Yeah, Visa Cash App. We already did that. Barcelona. No one's gonna be paying attention to Haas tomorrow because who cares about a car reveal
cares?
when Hamilton's moving?
Their car reveals
And
tomorrow.
Gunther Snyder's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awkward. Yeah, I guess next week or next 2 weeks we're gonna have all the cars coming out.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
It's already starting.
Yep. It'll be preseason testing before you know it.
Yeah. Damn.
But we don't read into testing.
No.
We don't read into testing on this podcast at all.
Never.
But yeah, until Aston Martin throws down one fast lap and Sean predicts an Alonso championship.
I can't wait for the
Stroll
hype
championship.
train. I can't wait for
I know,
Sean's
right?
hype train to come back.
Also, thank God, Steven. Remember how we were talking about a certain driver in Rolex of who was going to show us up and win? Certain new IndyCar driver. We're talking last week about
Kiffin Simpson.
yeah. Thank God he did not have a good race. Oh,
No, but you know
I
what?
saw him.
Kiffin?
okay.
Yeah, I saw him up close. I was like, you look
Who are
how
you?
I was like, are you the guy? I was like, oh yeah, nope, that's the guy. That's the guy. And I could not remember where. And I was like, huh, you're the one who like randomly is in IndyCar next year.
Taylor, as a child.
Hmm?
That is a child you were bullying. You cannot.
How old is he?
19.
18.
Oh my gosh. He's a wee little baby.
Which that is just terrifying in itself, right? To be like, wow, these guys are like 10
A
years
decade
younger than
younger.
us.
Gross.
That
gross.
hurts. That hurts the
Welcome
soul.
to being old.
Well, 10 years younger than you.
Welcome to being old, Sean.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
At least we're not turning 30 like some idiots.
Ha! Suckers.
That'll be the year after.
But yes.
Disgusting.
Do we have anything else for this week, or is that all we got?
I think that's actually all we got.
Yeah, I think after the way this day has gone, I think we all just need to like chill out and continue to digest
Yep.
what actually happened today.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Process-
And on that note, thank you very much for listening. We'll be back next week. And follow us on social media. And if you want, give us a like, subscribe, do all that kind of good stuff. And it's really appreciated. Okay, thank you. Okay, goodbye. Okay, bye.
Thank you for tuning in to the Spare Parts Racing podcast. Remember to subscribe so you don't miss an episode, and follow the show on Twitter at Spare Parts Racing. That's Spare Parts RACIN, and on TikTok at Spare Parts Pod. Follow the hosts at Sean Chavarella, at Stephen Clary, and at Tay Moore.